Taraman, Honorable Minister of Finance and Corporate Affairs, Government of India, Shri N. Chandrababu Naidu, Honorable Chief Minister, Government of Andhra Pradesh, Mr. R. Dinesh, Past President CII and Executive Chairman TVS Supply Chain Solutions, Mr. Chandrajit Banerjee, Director General CII, Mr. Gunjan Samtani, Chairman CII Task Force on GCCs, and Mr. Romal Shetty, Co-Chair CII Task Force on GCCs.
Shawl is there? No, later. Shawl is later. Good afternoon, and we meet at an occasion, at a time when we have all been celebrating for the last few days of some of the best things that we could imagine to have happened, having happened. And with that background in Visakhapatnam, it's a great honor and privilege to have two very, very important leaders of ours, the Honorable Finance Minister of India and the Honorable Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh amongst our midst. A very, very warm welcome to you, and all of us join in the phenomenal amount of work that we have seen both at the central level and as well as at the state level on many significant and landmark policy changes. We come and meet, as I mentioned, at a time which is so very important. We all know about the path-breaking reforms of the GST. The GST 2.0 is something we have been discussing, celebrating, and acknowledging as to a game changer it would be for everyone, for every citizen of the country, for every companies, for all our businesses who are present here, and of course for our economy. It is with that I would like to move this House to congratulate our Finance Minister for this very important path-breaking initiative. And Madam, thank you very much. While we know the subject of this discussion is GCC, and this is a very important initiative again taken by her. We had a meeting in Delhi some time back when the leaders of the GCCs had come together to talk about, with various states and various ministries under her leadership, to talk about the way we could work together in this very, very important area of work. And that's the time when she mentioned that we should take this to the different states of the country. We should take this discussion to the different states of the country. And which state could one select to be the first one but Andhra Pradesh? Sir, Honorable Chief Minister, it's indeed a privilege and an honor always to be with you. We all know about the huge initiatives that you have taken, be it on the Quantum Valley and Deep Tech push, or your Green Hydrogen Hub, or sustainability, or when we look at the infrastructure growth in your state. And today, when we bring this discussion of GCC into your state, we do expect a lot more momentum going out from this room. So we have formed within the institution a group, a forum on the GCC, which involves not only all the GCC players, but all other stakeholders. And in that stakeholders, we include different sectoral as well as even local associations, the local leadership, the local states, the states of India, and policymakers across the country, as we really look at this forum to be more and more consultative, and from time to time turn to our policymakers for their thoughts and for their inputs and advice. So we have the best of the two present here with us today, and it's my pleasure and honor to take forward the proceedings of this valedictory session. Madam Finance Minister, Honorable Chief Minister, we had throughout the day consultations on different areas of GCC with again states of India as well as the host state being present, as well as policy makers from our central government and the industry. So we capture in this valedictory session some of the thoughts that have emerged during the course of the day and present it to you. I'll keep this brief because we have the two great leaders to listen to, and before that we would like to have some capture of what happened during the course of the day, and that would be captured by Gunjan and Romal. Gunjan Samtani and Romal Shetty co-chairs the GCC forum that we talked about, and of course Mr. Dinesh has been the chair, coordinator and the leader in terms of when it comes to collaborative discussions between different sectors and within CII, within the industries. With that, ladies and gentlemen, once again, a very warm and a very, very strong applause and welcome to our two leaders. Thank you, Honorable Finance Minister. Thank you, Honorable Chief Minister. May I now request Dinesh, for you to come and say a few words, please.
Thank you, CB. Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman, Honorable Minister of Finance and Corporate Affairs, Honorable Chief Minister, Sri Chandrababu Naidu, colleagues on the dais, friends, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, CB, for giving the opening remarks. Let me also extend my deep appreciation to the Honorable Finance Minister for her constant guidance and vision in shaping not only India's economic future, but also a recognition of GCCs as a strategic lever in the Union budget was a turning point that has given this sector national prominence. I would like to extend my warm gratitude to the Honorable Chief Minister, Sri Chandrababu Naidu. Under your leadership, the state has proactively positioned itself in many sunrise sectors. Visakhapatnam's emergence as a GCC destination is a shining example of how visionary policy, infrastructure creation, and talent development can converge to create a world-class hub. Before moving to the topic of discussion today, let me again join CB in warmly congratulating Madam Finance Minister, the Honorable Prime Minister, and the GST Council for the historic set of decisions taken under your leadership in the 56th meeting last week. This is a truly decisive moment in shaping India's future. So thank you, Honorable Finance Minister, for that wonderful step. On behalf of CII, I would like to place on record our deep appreciation for the consistent engagement with industry towards this bold reform, which is now providing a strong backdrop for the kind of investment-oriented discussions we would having today. I would like to reiterate industry's commitments in helping move this forward. Turning to our agenda today, the conversations at this summit have been very encouraging. A vision to scale up to 5,000 GCCs by 2030, contributing over 200 billion to India's GVA and generating more than 25 million jobs, many of them high-skilled, is what is going to define the next phase. But equally important is the focus on the Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities and aligning closely with the state-led initiatives. While some of the state governments have actively promoted GCC investments through policies and incentives, what we really need is a nationally coordinated approach. The new framework is designed to provide a single window experience to investors and reduce regulatory friction and ensure plug-and-play infrastructure across the metros. And most importantly, align with other national missions such as Digital India, Smart Cities, and Gati Shakti. The framework is anchored in 3 pillars: national direction, enabling ecosystem, and measurable outcomes, the third being the most important. And the factors which are going to support this are talent development, availability, regional inclusion, and innovation. And that's why being here today is very important. 3 strong themes have emerged during the discussions. that GCCs are actually taking the lead in setting the agenda for the future. They are not about back office anymore. They are driving mandates in engineering, in R&D, and digital platforms. Second, India has to achieve its GCC ambitions by involving the tier 2, tier 3 cities, and today only 7% are located here, and that percentage has to go up to meet our 2030 target. Third, the states are the fulcrum of this transition, and again, I think with Andhra Pradesh having taken the lead, the policies on talent, livability, and incentives is something which we will very much look forward to working with. In this regard, the model state policy framework has been designed. The diagnostic tools to assess the readiness, the sectoral positioning strategies, and templates for incentives which are not linked to cost but mainly capability creation is something which is covered in this. Most importantly, the livability benchmarks, the social infrastructure to support the same, whether it be housing, education, or healthcare, is going to be something which will be as part of this policy. As part of the CIA leaderships, and as taking this forward, not only for the states to adapt and adopt this framework, I can assure you that the industry is fully committed to partnering with both the central and the state governments to make the vision a reality. With the collective leadership represented here, Madam Finance Minister at the center and the Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh as the state, the path ahead is clear. Together, we can firmly establish India as a global hub of capability and innovation. Thank you, and look forward to the day when this happens.
Shall we have the announcements on the select GCCs at this point in time?
Yeah. Shri Srinivas Pindi, VP HR and Talent Acquisition, FENM.
It is really a honor for me to come and talk here in front of Finance Minister Garu and also the CM of AP. Thank you so much, sir. Phenom is a HR tech platform company. We are headquartered in Philly and we have around 2,000 employees working in India. We have an office in Vizag. And I would proudly thank CM Garu and also Lokesh Garu and Bhaskar Garu also. In a span of 3 weeks, we have got the land allotted here in Vizag. Thank you so much, sir, for that. And we already started constructing it, and hopefully we will finish the building in like two years, and we have agreed to fill up with around 3,000 plus employees in like Vizag. Thank you for this, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Shri Krishna Mohan Gariparthi, Vice Chairman CII Visakhapatnam and President Inspire Edge IT Solutions.
Good evening, CM sir. Good evening, madam. It's great to see you on this GCC Summit stage. Inspire Edge is a managed services company started way back in 2011 from Vizag as headquarters, expanded into US and Hyderabad. We are one of the first companies that got into GCC space. We built 2 GCCs already, and we are planning to set up 3 more GCCs. We are in advanced discussions with 3 companies. That's going to generate around 2,000 people employment, and we're going to invest around 150 crores in Vizag. We're already setting up a campus here, sir. In the previous regime, we thank you for allocating the land, wherein we have already built the campus about to get inaugurated, and then that would be dedicated for GCC space. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Murli Krishan Ganamani, Chairman CI Andhra Pradesh and CEO and ND, Fluent Grid Limited.
It's such an honor. It's a very unique opportunity to make this announcement in the august presence of Honorable Chief Minister himself and the Honorable Finance Minister, Nirmala Sitharaman Garu. Sir, under the visionary leadership of our Honorable Chief Minister, Nara Chandrababu Naidu Garu, Andhra Pradesh is charting out a very bold path to emerge as a hub for technology, innovation and global investments. And sir, I'm very proud to tell you that Fluent Grid has been called Andhra Pradesh. In fact, Vizag is its home for the past 25 years. And Fluent always believed in Andhra Pradesh potential as a hub for technology, innovation, and skill talent. And our journey in the state has been one of growth, impact, and collaboration. So today, Fluent reaffirms its commitment to Andhra Pradesh with our established presence in Visakhapatnam, where our green campus employs more than 1,000 professionals serving utilities and smart cities across India and overseas. And we are now ready for the next big step in the journey of our GCC. So as a part of our long-term growth plans, we propose to set up a global capability center in the state under the build, operate, transfer model. And this 250 crore brownfield expansion will create cutting-edge infrastructure and technology platforms, generating around 2,000 new skilled jobs in software, product engineering, enterprise solutions, and so on. Importantly, this initiative will also strengthen the state skill development ecosystem in partnership with academic and training institutions. Sir, with this announcement, Fluent is not only investing in growth, but also reaffirming its belief in your vision and the capabilities of our youth and the promise of Andhra Pradesh as a global technology powerhouse. And on behalf of CII, we look forward to catalyzing many more such investments in the coming days and the years ahead, and that will shape the future of our state. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much for those quick announcements. And just now the quick report back on the key recommendations that happened during the course of the day for our Finance Minister and the Honorable Chief Minister. Gunjan and Romal.
Andariki Namaskaram. In your 2025 Union Budget speech, Madam Finance Minister Nirmala Ji, you acknowledged the role of India's services sector and the global capabilities on shaping the future of the Indian economy. Embedded within that was the recognition of the GCCs, not just as contributors to employment or exports, but as catalysts for innovation, resilience, and strategic depth. I'm truly proud to share that that sentiment became the foundation of the national framework unveiled in New Delhi along with you a few weeks back, and subsequently of the state framework that we are unveiling today. Madam, you created nothing short of a movement. And while the task force took formal shape earlier this year through a deep partnership of our partners in CII, the GCC leaders across different sectors, different jurisdictions, different locations around the world who have their offices in India, the government stakeholders, the various industry bodies, the national level, the central level ministries to the state representatives. The roots of this industry run far deeper. Many of the early building blocks of India's global services leadership were laid here in the very soil of Andhra Pradesh. Under your visionary leadership, Honorable Chief Minister Shri Chandrababu Naidu, years back, decades back, I can say. So it is only fitting that we find ourselves here today. The National Framework on GCC Policy has articulated India's ambition to emerge as the world's premier GCC destination. Realizing this ambition requires states to lead from the front. Andhra Pradesh was the first, in fact, among the first states to notify the GCC policy, paving the way for deeper industry-government collaboration. The state continues to be a leading destination for corporates alike, attested most recently by Google's commitment of building the largest data center in Asia right here in Visakhapatnam. Today's summit is about advancing this vision, unlocking opportunities, identifying the friction points, and enabling a cohesive environment where GCCs can continue to deliver direct, indirect, and induced contribution at scale to India's economy. And we are privileged to be part of this shared mission. Today's summit is nothing but a very, very powerful step in that direction. With that, if I may just talk about a recap of the contours of the national GCC policy, and allow me to read the statement of our strategic vision verbatim. it has taken a lot of effort among the GCC leaders working very closely with the finance minister and various stakeholders to chisel this statement that captures the boldness of India's vision towards GCCs. To drive bold, inclusive, and broad-based economic development by positioning GCCs as strategic contributors to national growth and enabling a ripple effect of innovation by leveraging artificial intelligence and emerging technologies, employment, and investment across key allied areas through India's market access. Together, the growth objectives peg it to about $470 to $600 billion of overall contribution coming from direct, indirect, and the induced parts of the economy, to a vision that can lead us to having more than 5,000 GCCs across the country by 2030, and an incremental value of about 20 to 30% on what each individual who is employed in this industry can add to our India's exchequer. That will come through having a very high focus on priority areas that cut across BFSI, consumer goods, TMT, electronics, manufacturing, healthcare, automotive, and manufacturing industries. When you look at the intersectionality of what is going on in the world through emerging technologies of cloud computing, quantum computing, artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, and you frame that there are trillions of dollars that enterprises around the world are going to invest in this, there is no other country that can provide the talent, the digital talent that our country offers at scale than India. And in there was the framework of the national GCC policy that we had rolled out that had the vision that I just mentioned, aligned to the critical success factors that cut across the physical infrastructure, the digital infrastructure, the investments in Tier 1, and more importantly, the elevation of Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities across different states of the country. We heard from many states, including from Bihar, from Andhra Pradesh, and from Kerala earlier today. And our state GCC framework derives from the national GCC framework that we just talked about, the idea being that we want to give the states the latitude and the ability to define the identity and inherit from the central framework to define the policies at the state level that allows for a flourishment of this infrastructure and this industry to take place. Earlier today, we had a closed room session with many industry stalwarts, along with the state representatives, with our partners from CII. From Marutji to Sandeepji to CB, yourself, all of you have played a very critical role in that dialogue with all of us. If I may now request Romal to come here to talk about the very specific aspects of the state framework that we talked.
I think this isn't moving, but okay. I hope the slides will work. But Honorable Finance Minister, Honorable Chief Minister, ladies and gentlemen, I think GCC is probably one of the biggest opportunities for India, not just to drive. GCC has always been known as the back office, driving the back office, but today the kind of work that is being done is actually also the front office. So for us as India to capture the front office, mid office, and the back office, this is probably the golden opportunity. And I'm really glad because, Finance Minister, you took in the budget, and I think you clearly identified the potential of the 500, 600 billion. And also, Chief Minister, I should tell you something. You may remember this, but you started Deloitte in Hyderabad, and you will be happy to know that Deloitte has the largest office in the world in Hyderabad. So we do think that with the Finance Minister and Chief Minister, I think definitely, I think Andhra Pradesh will really become a beacon. But some key things, I think, which are critical for the success. First is clearly in terms of the workforce. Today, 68% of all skills are next generation skills. They are not the old skills. And I think that is important that we actually focus on that. Second is the employability of people coming from colleges is only 43%. That means just the graduation, just the degree may not help. Actually, the skills also will help. A key element in this entire thing is also about what kind of regional innovation and skill hubs are created to actually up the employability of people, and ensuring that they don't have to travel to other cities. So I think that is a critical element as well. The second bit is the infrastructure. Yeah. The second bit is really the infrastructure. I mean, we can create the best skills and people, but if you don't have the right infrastructure, whether it is in terms of digital connectivity, whether it is in terms of roads, whether it's in terms of airports, all of those are also critical for ensuring that people will actually come to tier 2, tier 3 cities as well. And one of the areas that we really believe is if you can create digital economic zones, which means creation of GCCs, creation of data centers, creation of startup innovation systems and academia, if you can create in one place. And also we do believe that the MSME, which is a very critical sector from India, if they can be provided opportunities to provide services in the digital economic zone, that would really help. The third, of course, is location and ensuring that from a location perspective, every state should be known for something. It could be a sector, pharma, defense, things like that. Or it, of course, in terms of any other specialization in terms of quantum. And I know, Honorable Chief Minister, you've taken the leap in terms of quantum, which is going to be the new age technology as well. Now, few things that we think are important, and that's the feedback that we've got, which is really in terms of first is trying to provide some support from an employment perspective, whether it is in terms of payroll, whether it is in terms of skills premium, so that you're able to move people from across India back to Andhra Pradesh. And second, of course, in terms of specific skills for the future, so you are actually doing those. The other bit is also in terms of relocation, so really ensuring that we're able to relocate people and giving them certain grants to move people back. I spoke about the digital economic zone. I think there, especially any kind of CapEx or OpEx, which is in terms of land rebates or rental subsidies, I think that would really make a difference. And of course, the digital infrastructure, especially to create this, to ensure that we can actually work from anywhere in the world, in India, I think that is critical as well. One important factor, and I think you've obviously done this before, is really the first mover advantage. So if companies that move in their sectors and we provide the first mover advantage, I think that will really help, and that will be a big multiplier. And of course, lastly is the regulatory framework to ensure that there's a single window clearance. It should not take too much time. So I think people who are coming in here, that should be very fast, including pre-cleared SOPs as such. And finally, in terms of the investment promotion, and I think there should be a strong investment promotion across the world, which is clearly identifying whom to target, which is one, firms with no GCC. So if you look at all the Fortune 500, Fortune 1000 companies, they should be a clear target. But one area that we are seeing is the mid-market companies are actually growing at a faster rate. They're growing at 39% vis-a-vis the large companies, which are growing at 12% for GCC. So that's clearly an area where the focus should be. The second bit is we've largely always focused on the US and the UK. They're actually 90%. But today, there are other countries, whether it is the Nordics, whether it's the Middle East, whether it's Japan, Australia, I think clearly there are. And third, of course, is to clearly have campaigns. But once we have attracted GCCs into the country, I think it's important also to do the facilitation. So important to the landing support so that they can come easily into the country. They can have a single window for approval, and then, of course, have an investment aftercare. Because we also see that not all GCCs, if they have to be successful, probably have to be at least 3,000 to 4,000 people. If they're only 800, 900, they're not going to be successful. So how do we do aftercare support, I think is also important. And finally, to ensure all of this, it's important to have a governance framework, and we've based it on what we've done at the national level as well. So really having a GCC council, which has an interministerial group, because many ministries are required to actually make this actually happen. Clearly have some support cells, whether it is in terms of investment promotion cell, whether it is in terms of the talent, the infrastructure cell, the ease of doing business cell, and of course the innovation support cell. And that's one important area of innovation, to bring in innovation and not just do what has been always been doing. And of course clearly have advisory groups, because the interministerial group, along with the industry and academia, I think will be very important. So As I said, this is probably a pivotal moment in India where I think with the kind of focus that we actually have, there is nobody else in the world can match us. But we have to seize the moment and we have to go 5, 10 times and not be happy with 1 or 2 times. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Gunjan. Thank you, Romal, for that quick update. Ladies and gentlemen, a pleasure and honor now to request and invite Shri Chandrababu Naidu Garu, the Honorable Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, to please address us.
Honorable Minister for Finance, Government of India, Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman Garu, respected CAI Director General Chandrajit Banerjee Garu, and respected Dinesh Garu, respected Gunjan Garu, Romal Shetty Garu, and giants from GCC companies and friends. First of all, just now, our Banerjee has rightly mentioned, we have to appreciate Honorable Minister of Finance, revolutionary reform, that is GST reforms. It is a game changer now. One is to do business and at the same time, even customers, last mile. Always from regulation now we are going different approach. Majority of you are aware here. I had a very good equation from CAI. When there is no takers, I was only the person who will talk about business. That is our association from the beginning, not now, for the last 30 years. By seeing all of you now, we got so much of confidence. So many youngsters have come into different business areas. You are all Visakhapatnam, beautiful place. Even women entrepreneurs are more here. Visakhapatnam is one city. Women's safety, Visakhapatnam is number 1 in the recent survey. That is the safest place, I can say here. And also people are also very good. And also you are seeing, nowhere you will find this type of place. One is sea, opposite to that beautiful hills. And also apart from all these things, people are very good. Hospitality is extraordinary. Even don't go without taking Araku coffee, organic coffee to stimulate your brains. That is another area now. So with all these things, I have seen everything in this country. 91 economic reforms. After economic reforms, even I am proud to say here, P.V. Narasimha Rao started economic reforms. I am proud to say here in this place, even he is from Telugu Bidda, from this place, from combined Andhra Pradesh. And also, I started second generation reforms. Now I am very happy for the last 7 years. Our finance minister is taking country to forward. I am very proud. She belongs to from Andhra again. Born in Tamil Nadu, but she is from Andhra now. I can claim proudly she is from Andhra only. And also, always I am saying, right time, right leader at right place, that is Narendra Modi ji. Today is his 75th birthday. We have to appreciate him and wish him all the best. With all of you, he has to participate that. He is a big asset for the nation. I am very confident. With my long standing in politics, I have seen so many leaders. When I started my career as Chief Minister first time, nobody used to understand what is technology. That is where I am having a right to demand all of you to start GCC in Andhra Pradesh. Because of my first mover advantage, you are all here today. I am very proud of it. Why I am saying, I have seen so many countries at that time. India, we didn't move in that direction around 1991, only Bangalore, initial stage. Our communication sector was very, very primitive stage. Only two companies, BSNL, international connectivity, BSNL, domestic connectivity. Both are public sector. Some of you may remember lightning call we used to get after 10 days. In 1889, I promised in my constituency electronic exchange. My opponents criticized me, how can you get electronic exchange? There are no phones here. Only 20-30 phones at the time in entire constituency. Again, when I spoke about cell phone, all politicians used to criticize me. There is no water, there is no power. Here is a man who is talking about cell phone. Who wants cell phone? Can cell phone will give food or shelter? Like that they used to criticize me. And also I used to work with successive prime ministers to deregulate telecommunication sector. They didn't understand, they didn't do it. Ultimately, credit goes to Vajpayee ji. First time telecom sector was deregulated under his leadership. Not only the decision, so many infrastructure reforms he was implemented. Today, our people are talking about roads. At that time, no proper roads also. Then PPP model, Golden Quadrilateral Road has come. That is how we moved. Then even today, that is where I am demanding from you, myself and at that time the finance minister, the then finance minister, Jaswant Singh, we gave a report to Prime Minister. On the basis of that, deregulation has come. One information for this thing, nobody used to come for building infrastructure companies and telecommunication. First time I met Dhirubhai Ambani. I requested him. Then I explained the analogy. If we start this company, lot of future. Then he said, I'm only a refinery man. I don't know technology. But by hearing you, it seems lot of opportunities. Give me 4 days time. I will come back to you. I went to Davos. I returned back. Then he gave a call. Yes, I'm inspired. I'm prepared to spend $5 billion at that time. That was a big game changer. That is where he started Reliance Infocom. But again, here I wanted to make it very clear. Starting company is one, running company is one. That is where leadership. If all of us will analyze, for the last 11 years, Honorable Prime Minister, 11th largest economy. Today we are 3rd largest economy. Earlier I used to visit all over the world. People won't recognize Indians. Today I can say proudly, anywhere you go, Indians are all not only recognized, well respected. That is the scenario today. Even all these things, I had a good experience with Bill Gates also. He refused to meet me around 95, 96, 97. At that time only internet revolution has come. That was my admiration for him. I want to meet him. Through American ambassador, I gave a message. I'm prepared to come to Delhi. Give me some time. He said, I don't have any work with politicians. Then I told him, message, I'm having some work with you. Only 5-10 minutes you give me as a courtesy. With great difficulty, he gave me time. Then he spent with me 45 minutes. I prepared vision document at the time. Now CEOs, it is very common. PowerPoint presentations. Now I stopped PowerPoint presentations. I gave PowerPoint presentation at that time. Today, automatic PowerPoint presentations also we are preparing now. Even my government, I am preparing data lake, everything. I asked my people today, yesterday collectors conference, no senior officer should ask report from junior officers. All information is with you. You want any information, you can go online. There is a real-time governance. You don't know how to operate, they will guide you. That stage we have reached today. After seeing my PowerPoint presentation at that time, he was totally impressed. Then he told me, I'm totally convinced India is one country. You are having very good strength. I told only one thing on that day, even today I stand by that. India is very strong in information technology. Reasons are, one is we are very strong in mathematics. Zero is invented by us. Second, British people has taken everything, but they left English to us. That is a very good opportunity for all of us. Even China had a problem. Even my own Kohinoor diamond, they have taken from here. Recently, I want to visit England and also museum. Then they used to refuse because I make claim Kohinoor diamond again. These are all various things we have faced now. So, by starting Hyderabad, I am very happy. Delight, not only Delight, all companies. I started at that time high-tech city with IT promotion. One public policy promoting IT. From the beginning, I used to say, today I am very happy by seeing all of you. Earlier, we used to do only job work. I used to, even English pronunciation, we were unable to do properly at that time. I used to bring from London English coaching teachers. We used to have classes. Always I used to do at that time, very early stage. From America, doctors, everybody used to work. Time zone, they will send all details to us. We will computerize. Next day morning, we used to use all the data for action program. That was the job work we used to do. We used to get only peanuts. Never we have gone for products. I used to go on telling. At one stage, I used to inspire people, don't be a job seekers, try to become job providers. Today I can say very proudly all over the world, any country you can go, Indians are earning highest per capita income, even in America or in Australia or Africa. That is possible only because of knowledge economy. By seeing all these things, now GCC has come. I don't have any doubt about it. GCC, India will lead, not only lead, will dominate. I can say proudly one day, even now, around, I don't know the figures, you have to give me figures, but most of the work on GCC are being done from India, if I am right. Because every 4 IT professionals, one is Indian. Among Indians, out of 4, one is from Telugu community. That is our strength from the beginning. So with all these things, we are having very ambitious plan. Banerjee knows me, even CA knows me. Wealth creation, we need good public policies. Government of India is very keen to make India number 1. There is no compromise, provided all of us will work together. Next year, under Honorable Prime Minister leadership, our Finance Minister is going to announce third largest economy, that is 27 or 28. After that second largest economy, it will take some time, another 10 years. That is where Ernst & Young is predicting. Then 2047, that is my ambition, I am very clear, we will become number 1. There are some reasons for this justification. One is first mover advantage in reforms, that is 91 late. First mover advantage in technology 95. Demographic advantage for India, whereas all countries are going to face aging problem. And also right leadership, very strong leadership as on today. That is the biggest advantage for India. So all of us can plan. My aim is by 2047, $2.4 trillion economy. Andhra Pradesh is having, as our friend has rightly told, Hyderabad, you know at that time how it was. We don't have any flights. I used to go to meet people all over the world. They used to ask me, which Hyderabad first? There is one Hyderabad in Pakistan also. Then I used to say, this is India, this is Hyderabad. Then how to come? You come to Delhi or Bombay, stay night, come morning, do business and go back. Again night, they have to catch international flight. Then they told me, they used to ask me, why should I come to Hyderabad? Then we can do business in Delhi or Mumbai. That is how first time under open sky policy, Emirates flight has come to Hyderabad first time in the history. Then our other cities. That is how we built Greenfield Airport. Now, if you see outer ring road, one of the best outer ring road no other city is having except Hyderabad. 165 kilometers, 8-lane road. I am assuring you, all companies, after bifurcation, we had some structural problems. Even before Honorable Finance Minister, I am confessing with her. From the beginning, I am requesting them because all service sector has gone to Telangana. I am not finding any fault, but they are benefiting. I am very happy. Today, because of all policies, Telangana is getting highest per capita income in the country. Hyderabad city, the most livable city. That is the ecosystem we created earlier. Now, we are creating one of the best infrastructure now. Hyderabad, we are having an advantage of climate. Andhra Pradesh is having an advantage of sea coast, 1,000 kilometers. And also we are planning port-led economy. Because of all these things, next month, I'm confident Google data center is going to come to Visakhapatnam. They are going to announce it. Just now our friends have mentioned Visakhapatnam, they started operations. By August, Visakhapatnam airport is going to operate. One of the best airport with all amenities, what all you say, everything is available here. Even metro we are working, and also no other city is better compared to Hyderabad. Either first tier or second tier, you can have any problem, go to beach, relax, stress buster. And also from here, you wanted to have a summer resort, go to Araku or Paderu. Even it won't cross 30, 32 degrees temperature. Only 1 hour journey from here. And also our people are also very dynamic. Now I am focusing more on logistics. We are having some problems. One is bifurcation, structural problems. And also after that, 1924, I don't want to talk about it because of politics. We had a different time. We lost opportunity. Now we are very, very anxious to build very fast. On logistics, I am assuring you, with the support of Government of India and our own, with the PPP models, every 50 kilometers there will be one port, hub and spoke model. Every 1 hour you can reach airport. One is already we are having very good airports. Visakhapatnam, Rajamandri, Vijayawada, Tirupati, Kadapa. Smaller airports again, Orvakallu and also Puttaparthi. And 4 or 5 airports are going to come. Amaravati, we are going to have one more best airport. That will be the, compared to Bangalore and Hyderabad, I want to benchmark, this will be the next version of airport. That is where we are working. Roads, compared to other cities, our state is the best. And also, if you can go through railway connectivity also, you wanted to cross south and north, necessarily they have to cross Andhra Pradesh. That is the advantage for Andhra Pradesh. Railway connectivity will be very good. Now I am confident bullet train is going to come to Andhra Pradesh. That is connecting Honorable Finance Minister is here. Unreasonable demands, but it is inevitable for future. So one is successful, Ahmedabad to Mumbai. And next, I am confident Hyderabad, Bangalore, Amaravati, Chennai has to be connected. From then onwards, Chennai to Kolkata via Visakhapatnam. Then country will be more connected. Even China is having more bullet trains, fast trains. Why can't we have it? So that is also one more thing. Then ultimately, as our friend has rightly mentioned, infrastructure, there is no problem. What are the specialities? I started earlier high-tech city with IT, now Quantum Valley with artificial intelligence and writing algorithms for quantum computing. That is the order of the day. Today we are working. We are focusing more on green hydrogen. Andhra Pradesh is blessed with solar, wind, pumped storage, all these things we can use it. Green hydrogen and also ammonia, even domestic consumption, exports also because of ports proximity. So you are all aware, ease of doing business. I'm telling you, anything you guide me, I'm prepared to listen. What Government of India is doing, GCC Council, we will have it. In computation, after Government of India, no other state can compete with me. I'm assuring that. That is how ISB in Hyderabad, how I competed, and I got it. So here, ease of doing business, we are number one. Not ease of doing business, now we are working speed of doing business. I am asking my people, one example I am giving you how governments we are working. Initially had a setback, but it is only a temporary setback. I am very thankful to Honorable Finance Minister. She was very generous to sanction money 15,000 crores for Amaravati. Amaravati is a greenfield capital. I have built earlier Hyderabad as a brownfield capital. 2 cities, 1 city I added. Now I am building Amaravati and connecting Guntur, Vijayawada, all cities. So greenfield city, we are going to have new features. This is, I can say, technology, utilities, green energy, and also district cooling, everything we want to bring. Only temperature, or otherwise this will be the best place to live. I am assuring you, because of water, Krishna River, fresh water, beautiful mountains, and also greenery, excellent greenery. And also we are going to have green energy, pollution free. You can have more lifespan also. If you can come and settle in Amaravati, that day is going to come. Nowadays, because of bandwidth, as he rightly mentioned, we are having all advantages. Government also is moving very fast. Decision making is real time. You are saying 1 week, 10 days, 15 days, no. I can give you across the table within 2 days or 3 days. Only statutory obligations will verify. Otherwise, no question of waiting. Finally, I want to tell one thing. We are all in an inspiring time. You are all GCC people. India is blessed with all advantages. One is Aadhaar and also other authentication. No other country is having this type of advantage. Second one is, by using Aadhaar, every person, starting from child, you can make every family as a unit. You can position geotagging of every house. Then central government, state government programs we can integrate. then ultimately I can plan every family, macro, micro planning. I can visualize what I have to do, and also I can execute very systematically. One project we are working with Bill Gates, this is Sanjeevani, total digital health records, and also ultimately preventive, curative, and real-time monitoring, very cost-effective model. Bill Gates is working through his foundation. He is going to bring technology and also knowledge. We are going to execute it. If everything goes right, we are going to replicate other states also. Those who are all willing, we can work with them also. Why I am saying this, we are having data lake. In data lake, all the data, historical data we gathered together. Now AI has come. I can use AI and also real-time data through satellite, drone, CCTV camera, wearables, and also sensors, everything around 40 to 50 parameters I can collect real-time. Then by using AI, now quantum computing also is there. Then solution we can provide through WhatsApp governance. As on today, 725 services we are providing on WhatsApp. Just like private companies, we are asking customers to rate the quality of services. Rating also we are doing now, so that I can correct real time. These are all various innovative programs we are working. So finally, I want to say, before leaving here, every GCC company has to have one MOU with the government of Andhra Pradesh to set up your GCC operations in Visakhapatnam. We won't regret for that. Even I am thanking Honorable Finance Minister. She is promoting GCC. She has selected very right way. Future is for GCC and also other knowledge economy areas. India is going to become global hub for providing services through knowledge economy. Only you need physical presence, you can go, or otherwise from anywhere to anywhere we can provide services. This is where I am promoting. Distance is not the constraint. One should have a mindset. Think globally, act globally. You can achieve any goal. So with all these things again, I am telling you, Visakhapatnam is a wonderful city. All other things, quality of life, creating ecosystem, cost advantage, power, uninterrupted, even green energy, even financial incentives, and also skill development and innovation, even big companies, tailored ecosystem, and also what are all the incentives, land and other things. If you create wealth for me and generate resources, that means generation of revenue, then I can share it. Even Government of India is doing same thing. But abnormal, if you ask demands, that may be having some problem. Transparent way, what are all permissible, my government is prepared to extend all the cooperation for all of you. I am assuring you that. So, ultimately, if all of us will create wealth, then only we can eradicate poverty. You won't you won't create wealth, then poverty will prevail forever. There I am working pro-poor stand, even Government of India, both areas we are all only one government. Double engine Sarkar, double engine growth because of center support. Last year 12% growth rate from Andhra Pradesh. This year first quarter we are able to grow 10.5%. Ours is a responsible government here, even Andhra Pradesh government. So, with all these things, again, I'm thanking all of you and welcome Visakhapatnam. First meeting, Honorable Finance Minister conducted here, GCC. I'm thanking her. That is where he asked me, GCC meeting we will have in Visakhapatnam. That is a good area. If you accept immediately, we'll call. Then I told her immediately, at any time I am available. This is one area I have to get that ecosystem players. Today we are all here. Earlier I started one family, one IT professional. Today I am talking one family, one entrepreneur. There I am building Ratan Tata Innovation Hub. Tata Group is going to lead that center. Government is going to support. Knowledge partner IIT Chennai and also local university, they are joining. We are bringing venture capital and also mentoring experts and also banks, they are working with us. Visakhapatnam spoke model 1. This is headed by GMR, same Andhra University, knowledge partner. First time you see industry and academic institutions never we worked together. Here policy makers from government side, industry from industry side, and academic institutions, all of us are together, we are working. This is a win-win situation. Even another industry, Green Co, we are involving in Rajahmundry. Another is Mega is involving in Vijayawada. Another is Adani. We are asking them to involve in Tirupati. Finally, Jindal is working with us for Anantapur. These were best education institutions and also industrialists and also knowledge partner, the venture capital. We want to create that ecosystem. So this is one more game changer I'm thinking. Another 20 years time. This concept, if I take to logical conclusion, that is what I'm saying, one family, one entrepreneur, not only MSME, even knowledge economy, even starting so many companies, then sometime they may reach global GCC also. Why I am saying, I started Microsoft, then Nadella Satya started working there. Then he became president of Microsoft. One should have aspiration. To achieve that aspiration, they will work very hard. That is the atmosphere we are creating. I am very happy. Again and again, one of the best policy we can give you, and also execution with precision, perfect execution. You may not repent. This is the right time. Visakhapatnam is the right location. Anyway, you have seen here, even this hotel, next to this hotel, if you see, clean beach. Other beaches we are having some problems. Sea also. This is one of the best area. So with all these things, again and again, I am thanking all of you. And finally, I am thanking Honorable Finance Minister for giving me this opportunity. She is also here. What all policies you want reasonably, she will clear. But my request to all of you, you come and set up one GCC in Visakhapatnam. Thank you, Ananda.
We now present the CII report on suggestions for a state framework for GCCs.
Rarely do we have the occasion of having such two visionary leaders at one platform, people who have been focused, leaders who have been focused on reforms, path-breaking ones, game changers for the country. And we heard the Honorable the Honorable Chief Minister talking about Andhra Pradesh, talking about major changes that he has been doing and he plans to do to build the ecosystem for the GCCs and much beyond. Thank you very much, sir, for that very strong visionary address. And we really thank you for your participation. So from one visionary leader, we move to the other, Honorable Finance Minister of our country. We all spoke about the GST, but there are much more. And she's the one who has actually proposed bringing this conference to the states of India. Madam Finance Minister.
Thank you very much, Chandrajit, and good evening to all of you all. Honorable Chief Minister, CIA Chief, former President Dinesh, also DG Chandrajit Banerjee, Gunjan and Romal. Now, I suppose I'm doing the roadshow along with you continuously, so feels as if you both are part of the team. All invited guests. Things are actually very speedily evolving, and we are meeting at a time when we are talking about how to take the GCC further in the country. It's not as if there are no GCCs at all, but there was this impressive statistics or one particular number which was thrown at me at some point in time, well before the budget of June 24, post the election, July 24 budget, that 50% of all the GCCs in the world are to be in India. And for the rest of them which are already outside of India, they are run by more than 50% Indians only. So if the rest of the GCCs outside of India had 100 people running them, 50 of them were Indians. So either way, almost now for 2 years, GCC has acquired an Indian flavor, and that's been going on with the same expectation and speed. So when we were talking in late June, preparing for the July budget, issues of GCC and how to promote GCC were all being discussed, but by which time it was apparent that this statistic was before us, that 50% will be in India and 50 which are outside are being manned by Indians. So there was a sense of urgency. We had to do something. Equally, there were voices saying, do you want a GCC? It's only going to be something very different from what was IT earlier. Now it's going to be called as GCC. But a bit more going into what made GCCs different from the earlier BPOs was that it had a space for research and furthering technology. It also gave opportunities for companies to do a further higher end research for greater innovation. So it was not just back offices. So the character of GCC itself had a built-in advantage for India in that you had the manpower, the human resources which are so with skill sets which are necessary for running a GCC. But also it was no longer the sweat labor that you're talking about. It required the knowledge component. And therefore, PM Modi was very convinced that we should have a policy approach, which will entice people to have the GCC coming to India rather than policy support need not necessarily be imagined as fiscal support, but we should create the right kind of environment. So we spent quite some time understanding how to go about it. And in that, the CII has been actively engaged and participating with the government. And I must thank them that they have kept the momentum up. So it led to, actually one led to the other. We reached a stage where we wanted to gather everybody who had any interest in GCC at one place at a national level meet, so that we understand where are their next moves going to be, and CII organized it in Delhi. I've actually participated in quite such meetings earlier from my days in commerce. And in fact, Andhra Pradesh at that time and Visakhapatnam at that time hosted 2 partnership summits, one after the other. In fact, being in commerce, I used to say, why should we redo in Andhra? Can we not go anywhere else? But the Chief Minister was very clear, you do it here, that's it. There was no, in that style, no need to go anywhere else, you come here, we'll do it. So it made it easy for us, we came here. And those were the initial days of, in fact, Araku coffee. I still mentally have that picture of Araku's stall, where the CM took me and said, come taste it, you'll know. And even as we talked about Araku coffee in that partnership summit, in my days in commerce between 14 and 17, I once visited Paris, and in Paris, the entrepreneur came and met me and said, look, I have opened in the high street of Paris, one of them, a stall. You must come and see. And I have given a good touch of how we trace and track the coffee from the plant to the plantation or the farmer, and from there get it to the streets of Paris. So it was very, very good marketing technique, and I was very attracted to the way in which he presented it. And one, of course, I had tasted it in a partnership summit, and one obviously understands what importance Araku has for all of us. And when I went and saw that high street shop in Paris, it was impressive, absolutely giving credit to the farmers, the tribes who are actually moving into an area which was not originally theirs. Whoever would have thought Chikmagalur will be competing with Araku sooner? Chikmagalur, the old and traditional coffee growing area. But no, the reason why I'm expanding on this is there's a complete record of what Chief Minister Andhra Pradesh has done in Hyderabad. In fact, it was not Hyderabad and Secunderabad. There was a third city, which was the Cyberabad. Most of us used to call it like that. That was built, the outer ring road, many things. But today, in Andhra Pradesh, because it's necessary for us to understand as to why we are meeting here and what is the importance of meeting here. Today in Andhra Pradesh, I can count at least 3 frontier area foundations being laid. CM had announced already that quantum headquarter will be a quantum mission, which was part of my budget, 2 budgets earlier. The headquarters for quantum in India will be in Andhra Pradesh. It's the dream of the Chief Minister, and he's announced it. And he's also demarcated an area where he's going to create the necessary fundamental infrastructure for ensuring quantum emanates, or fountainhead of quantum would be here. Did he stop at that? No. He started also one another area where he's demarcated and getting the advantage of a national mission which has been here for a long time, Sriharikota. He's now started a center for space. Future research in space related matters will happen there. So that will be a fountainhead of space, which we opened up in the 21 budget. In 2021 budget, Prime Minister Modi for the first time guided me to bring in the word privatization into the budget. India would never ever in government circles speak about privatization, disinvestment, strategic disinvestment, public sector. I'm not crowing about it. But leaders, if they have the courage of conviction, they say things not for the sake of it, but because it means a lot more for the people of India. If 91 you go on recalling for the reforms which opened up India, actually full opening didn't happen then. Yes, it was a major step, I grant that. But full opening took a decade more Even now, capital account is not opened up. I grant that. But actual opening up of India took its own time. That in 21 budget, PM said, why should there be any sector reserved for government? Every sector should be allowed for private sector. Why can't private investors and private operators come into areas which we hold as a monopoly now? Unless you open it up, your true energy of Indians, if the Chief Minister today is able to say, I want an entrepreneur each in every one of the families, it's because the scope is now widened. Space is opened up, 21 budget. We came up very clearly with a policy saying no one sector will be completely left in the hands of only government. The other way of putting it is, even strategically important sectors, government presence will surely be there, but even that will be opened for private. Because the question immediately was, what do you mean? Strategic sectors which are very critical to the national security, are you going to leave it only to the hands of the private sector? No. Prime Minister was clear. He said, strategic sectors which are important for the national security, government will be present. But it shall not shut door to the private sector. Why am I elaborating on this? That's when this public sector policy, opening up of every sector policy was announced in 2021 budget. Startups came in as soon as that policy was announced and made a big deal in space sector. That is why today startups are building small, miniature and large satellites, which are for some others. It can be a country or some agency with due diligence and complying with the laws of the land. You're able to send the satellite for those parties. And that's become a commercial operation. The moment you opened up, it gave you advantage. So look at what Andhra Pradesh is giving us as a continuity and also positively exploiting the policy. Quantum fountainhead, Andhra. Space, Sriharikota, and around it the ecosystem has been announced by the Honorable Chief Minister. The second, the GCC, he's focused it on Visakhapatnam. He's already made the announcement that Google is coming in with a data center here also in Visakhapatnam. Now, 4 things all related to the future of science, frontier of science, will emanate from here, and that's already the steps being taken are being openly announced. I would certainly add one with the indulgence of the Honorable Chief Minister is food and horticulture, which form the core of our food security. We can be anybody, anytime. And he was a bit apologetic about the weather of Andhra Pradesh. If Dubai, which is a complete desert, is not apologetic about what they're doing about future of science and technology, if Vietnam, the former Saigon, the Ho Chi Minh city, is not at all apologetic. It is sweaty, hot, humid, everything. Like you're in, and the latitude is also very much the same latitude of Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh. So temperature-wise, even they are not blessed. But that's where entrepreneurship flourishes. So Andhra, not despite the climate, has already laid the foundation for 4 of it. And the 5th one, which I'm assuming, which has not been said, is about the horticulture and the food self-sustaining, at the same time export scaled. So it can surely look at a prospect of supplying to the world fruits from the south of Andhra Pradesh. Entire Rayalaseema region is now full of fruits, vegetables and also some other horticulture projects. So you're having a state which is newly created after a difficult division, already blooming with these majorly science and knowledge-driven sectors. I would even imagine sooner that Amravati will draw all the fintech sectors. He's been talking with me, the Honorable Chief Minister, of banks coming in there. Let us see what can be worked out on that. So you've already got a state which is carving its place in 2047 Vikasit Bharat with futuristic sectors. So I'm very happy to be associated and to be part of it. The launch of the model state GCC framework being assisted by the CII with suggestions which they have given, and we've just released the report. I've also already mentioned the fact that global capability centers have a far-reaching impact on economic growth, competitiveness, and also on human capital development. It's going to be a transformational journey. Romal and Gunjan have spoken a lot about what their study or the study group has come up with. Today they are innovation hubs, driving R&D, generating intellectual property and patents, and enabling sustainable growth for global enterprise. Long-term competitive advantage to global organizations can be also extended. So GCCs are actually cementing their position in India as the world's GCC hub. Now, three things which I would like to highlight. They are pillars, if you want to call them so, or they are aligned pillars with the GCC world. Investments in physical and digital infrastructure is absolutely critical. So if GCCs can come and do their business, or in the future to even multiply their business, you need the governments, both the state and the central government. And what for? You need them because investments in physical and digital infrastructure is absolutely critical. Both the governments in Andhra and also Government of India will work towards strengthening it. I'll give you a bit more on it. The second pillar, I think, is the education and skilling of manpower. You need a basic set of skills to be able to enter the threshold on GCC, and furthermore also for the data centers. And a third one is the facilitative governance. So if I were to talk on the physical and digital infrastructure, investments in physical and digital infrastructure is the first assumption. The rapid rollout of India's own 5G network and the significant investments in urban infrastructure are an expression of the importance we are placing on ramping up capabilities. A massive push has been undertaken to address infrastructure and logistics bottleneck. Capital investments, for a moment let us see the numbers that we are talking about. Capital investment has increased from 1.7% of the GDP, and that was in 2013-14. Of the GDP, capital expenditure money was only 1.7% of our GDP. It is now, in 24-25, reached 3.2% of our GDP, with effective capital expenditure being actually 4.1%. When I say effective, I mean not just the central government's expenses, but also state governments putting their capital expenditure money into it. So 4.1% of our GDP is now completely going into capital asset creations. Over the last 11 years, 88 airports have been operationalized. 31,000 kilometers of new rail tracks have been laid. Metro networks expanded over fourfold. And port capacities have also doubled. And the national highway network extended by 60%. So complementing all these efforts, the central government has also provided the state governments 50-year interest-free assistance so that they can have their capital assets increased money to spend on them. The center has given 50-year interest-free money to all states, and the total of what has been given is about 3.6 lakh crores up till now. That is the last 4 years. and 22 states have actually used it, resulting in recording more than 10% growth in capital expenditure from their own resources, from states' own resources. Now, the other is the Digital India Initiative, which has enhanced digital infrastructure and simplified e-governance, enabling faster and smoother operationalization of the GCC. Reforms such as the introduction of Spice Plus, simplified pro forma for incorporating company electronically plus, that is Spice Plus, and the establishment of the processing accelerated corporate exit, which we call as CPACE, are creating more innovation and business-friendly environment. So that's my first pillar. The second pillar is education and skilling. They improve employability, industry-ready capabilities are provided, and they are the key focus of our government. In July 24 budget, we particularly focused on this agenda and announced Prime Minister's package for 5 schemes and initiatives to facilitate employment, skilling, and other opportunities. And that covered 4.1 crore youth all over the country over a 5-year period, with a central outlay of 2 lakh crores. So that's directly for skilling and working with various types of employment opportunities. Large-scale skilling initiatives, what have we done on that? PM Kaushal Vikas Yojana, under which 1.6 crore people have been trained already, and they are being aligned with the emerging industry needs. 200 plus new age skill centers are also started, new age courses are being also approved, and the National Council for Vocational Education and Training, and 29 new age courses have also been added into the craftsman training scheme in ITIs. Programs such as the PM internship scheme also provide opportunity for GCCs to tap into national talent pipeline. The CII, together with other associations, are also working with us on the PM internship program. The pilot stages are over. Further, initiatives such as Research, Development and Innovation Scheme, the RDI scheme, with a corpus of 1 lakh crore, encourages the private sector to scale up. That's available for all in private sector, to scale up research development and also innovation. That's why it's called RDI scheme. 1 lakh crore has been provided for this. It's for every one of us to tap it. Largely aims at sunrise domains and also strategic domains. The Pradhan Mantri Vikasit Bharat Rozgar Yojana is another one, which employment-linked incentive scheme has been recently rolled out. And what it means is any young person receiving their first employment opportunity in a private company will be given 15,000 rupees from the central government. The central government also plans to invest nearly 1 lakh crore in this program to provide new jobs for new youngsters who are coming on. I'll move to the third and the final pillar, is that facilitative governance. Supportive regulatory measures such as ease of doing business, reforms that have been undertaken, simplified tax regulations, streamlined compliance norms for foreign entities, and also flexible labor laws have all been brought in, and a single window clearance mechanism have also been significantly reduced, have also reduced the cost and complexity of doing business. Reforms also have meant that liberalized FDI policies have come through. The removal of over 42,000 unnecessary compliances, 1,500 archaic laws which have been removed, and introduction of system-wide deregulation and landmark system-wide reforms such as the GST, about which a mention was made earlier, the reformed RERA Act, and the IBC, which has kept up with the changing needs of industry. So also in taxation, we've given an expanded safe harbor rule for tax-related matters, and also improved transfer pricing assessment process and procedures, and they are further getting enhanced so that the competitiveness of India's tax regime for global businesses will be worked out. The next generation GST reforms announced recently also benefits the GCC and IT-enabled services by easing compliance, releasing working capital which otherwise gets locked up, and reducing disputes. According to NASSCOM, the reforms bolster India's tech industry export engine while reinforcing the momentum towards greater ease of doing business. Now, the cooperative federalism aspect, which will be influencing GCCs and setting up GCCs in Tier 1, Tier 2, thus far, GCCs predominantly clustered in big metros. That was mentioned even by the CII when they spoke. However, with the ecosystem broadening and maturing beyond Tier 1 hubs, Tier 2, Tier 3 cities are emerging strategic destinations, a shift that is helping diversify economic activity. And that's where I think the emphasis on Visakhapatnam takes credit. State governments are playing a very critical role in deepening India's GCC advantage and shaping an enabling policy environment. So in order to maximize the impact, aligning national and state level policies about which we just spoke, and adapting policy instruments to ensure that each state builds on its own unique comparative advantage. That's what Andhra is striving to do, and that is where Andhra stands out as one of the first mover. So that the central strategies for GCC's growth translate into locally grounded ambitions, measurable targets, and also maximize growth potential. Building livability and infrastructure ecosystems that allow Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities to emerge as centers of excellence is one of the main things that can attract global talent, encourage corporate reinvestments, and host high-value innovation and service delivery, offering credible alternatives to Tier 1 cities. So in the 2025 February budget, we proposed a national framework to guide states in promoting GCCs in emerging Tier 2 cities. And that's where CII, with people like Gunjan and Romal Shetty, are doing actually doable things with their consultation. And we should be taking advantage of that kind of an input. Andhra Pradesh is strong, a very strong case, an illustration of the success of policy-led leadership in leveraging state-level strengths to align with national priorities. Otherwise, even as we were only talking in, let us say, April or May, about how and where Google will come and set up, you already have the Chief Minister announcing Google is here in Visakhapatnam. We only were discussing it in April and May. I distinctly remember the entire Google team meeting me when I had gone to Washington. On my way to Washington, in San Francisco, their team came and met me and spoke elaborately, saying, where should we do it? How should we do it? And here we are in early September with the Chief Minister saying they are going to be here. So that is the illustration about Andhra Pradesh, which I want to highlight, that if the policy-led leadership finds success and repeatedly leverages the state-level strengths, you can also, by aligning with the national policy, you can concretely see at the ground level changes that are normally taking a couple of years. Here we go within a matter of 3-4 months, you have this. And again, it's a question of the large-scale data center. Semiconductor is another thing which is coming into Andhra, which is already announced. Single window clearances have made a lot of magic about the whole thing. They are like a magic wand. You just do it once and it's all over. And that's happening here. Academia and curricula should now get aligned. I would suggest it to the Chief Minister that other than the national curriculum which comes for the kind of specialized frontier sector technology related activity that we're doing here, we need our curriculum to reflect it. Government of India also has a land incentive for tech hub policy 4.0 to allocate land leases on concessional rates. That is also something which the industry can benefit from. So in all, not taking more of your time, the release of the model state GCC framework provides a clear roadmap for states to scale up their efforts, attract investments and build resilient ecosystems. By working together, center and state, industry associations like CII and global companies, we can ensure that India's GCC strength can be furthered and bring the broad-based and future-ready sector to benefit our people. And finally, this will not only consolidate India's leadership in the GCC landscape, but also create new opportunities for innovation, job creation, and inclusive regional development, contributing eventually towards Vikasit Bharat 2047. So thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have no time, actually. We have flights to catch. Madam Finance Minister will catch a flight. Honorable Chief Minister has another engagement to go. I could have gone on to thank both of them. I could have gone on to summarize what you said, but I'll dare not do that. And I'll dare not try to even extend this session further because of the important engagements our two leaders have the hereafter. But I'll only really move this with a strong vote of thanks to you for this leadership. If I can summarize it with 3 T's, target setting for us, extremely thought-provoking for us, and extremely strong transformative ideas from you. And we will take this forward with our commitment, with the partnership from the industry. Thank you. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in thanking our honorable guest.
May we present a small token of appreciation. May I request Dinesh sir to kindly present it to Madam FM. Dinesh sir to Honorable CM sir.